When I was 14, I used to look like this. I was this skinny, puny kid who always used to get picked on for being skinny. I used to have people come up to me in class and pick on me for the fact that my arms were smaller than all the girls in class. People in class would always just refer to me as the skinny guy or the small kid, as if that was my identity, as if that was all I could ever be. But deep down, I always wanted to be more. I always had this image in my head of how I wanted to look, this strong, jacked, masculine man. Maybe you feel the same way. Maybe you have this future image of yourself that you've always wanted to look like or aspire to be, but you feel like if you say it out loud, it'll sound stupid, you'll get picked on. I was the exact same way. So I stayed this skinny, puny kid all the way up until I was 20 years old. And I remember one day, I was in university, my final year, wasting time on YouTube, to be honest, probably not doing what I was meant to be doing. And I came across this YouTube video, and the thumbnail instantly drew my attention. It was this super skinny kid on the left-hand side who looked exactly like how I looked. And then on the right-hand side, there was this super jacked, strong, masculine man. It literally pictured everything I'd always imagined being. That dream version of myself was right here in this image with me on the left-hand side. And so I read the title, and it was a Calisthenics 5-year transformation. And I remember reading the word calisthenics and being so confused. I never even heard of the word calisthenics before. I didn't even know what calisthenics was at the time. So I clicked on the video out of pure interest, and it completely changed my life. As I was watching the video, I saw this guy start off from being this skinny, puny kid, literally a stand-in for me. And I watched over the years as he transformed his physique and his strength to remarkably superhuman levels. I was watching him do these unbelievable skills that I never even thought would be possible for a person to do. Come the video's end, it had completely sparked a fire in me, and it forced me to ask myself some real serious questions. What if I could actually change? What if I started right now? So the next morning, I didn't waste any time. I didn't bother researching into it, trying to find the perfect routine or get a gym membership. I just instantly got started immediately. Listen, if this video is hitting home for you, don't just watch the video, act now. Don't do what I did and wait all those years. Ask yourself those questions I asked myself after that video. Make the change today. I have a complete beginner's guide to calisthenics in the description below. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Click that top link in the description. Start your journey now. So as I said, I didn't research into any routines or exercises. All I knew to do was just push-ups and pull-ups. That was all I did. And I know what your ego is probably instantly thinking, no. There's no way he built this physique with only push-ups and pull-ups. No, he must have done this and that and had a gym. No, that's not the case. Now, at this current moment, I do train differently to how I started. I do a few more exercises, things like rows and dips. But when I first started, I only did push-ups and pull-ups. That is what built my physique, and that is what built my main foundation that I have only built upon with all these extra exercises. No gym, no distractions, no pointless equipment or exercises, just push-ups and pull-ups. That was it. Most people say that you can't use a ton of high reps to build muscle and strength. But if that was the case, I wouldn't look the way I do today. All I did was just spam push-ups and pull-ups as much as I could. Why did I do this? Well, because I didn't know anything different. I didn't have any fitness knowledge. I didn't have anyone to look up to or talk to in regards to fitness. I didn't know what sets and reps were. I literally just knew push-ups and pull-ups, and I would do as many as I physically could until my body was literally hurting that I couldn't do any more, and that was it. I just figured that would be enough. I knew if it was hurting, surely it must have been working. And I enjoyed it. I enjoyed just spamming push-ups and pull-ups throughout the day, this kind of high-rep training, and what I now know to be street workout training was something I really enjoyed. Yes, like I said, over time I added things like rows and dips, but what built my physique, what built that foundation for me, was just these two exercises, nothing more. So let's talk about how you can actually implement this training for yourself. So first and foremost, with push-ups and pull-ups, the main thing you want to focus on before anything else at the moment is just doing them with the proper form and technique. So I know you're probably getting that temptation and the energy to wake up tomorrow and instantly go bang out thousands of push-ups and pull-ups. But let's be honest, bro, that's not you at the moment. You cannot wake up tomorrow and go and bang out thousands of reps. And neither could I when I first started. You have to start slow and build up to that. Yes, I can do that stuff now, but I could not do that stuff when I began. And if I tried, I probably would have died on the ground right there. So personally, I enjoy high rep training. It's what I've built up to over the years, but you can't just start doing that straight away, especially if you're starting from nothing. When you're just starting out, focus on perfecting your form. Strength will come from execution, not just numbers. Right? You don't want to be banging out thousands of sloppy reps. You want to focus on doing some good, clean reps to start off with. When I first started, I did pull-ups and push-ups pretty much every single day. Right? Not because it was necessarily optimal, but because I did not know what I was doing whatsoever. Now that I actually do know what I'm doing, here is the smarter approach that you should personally use if you are starting out. Focus on trying to train these two movements 3 times a week. Build up with progressive overload, slowly trying to increase the reps over your sessions, and focus on mastering form first and foremost. Don't just burn yourself out by trying to do thousands of reps straight away. Build up strength the correct way, and you'll see results faster in the long run. Progressive overload is the secret to consistent muscle growth. It is the difference between real actual progress and just wasted time and effort. If you're not actually trying to push past what you did in your previous sessions, then you're not even truly training. With progressive overload, you want to start small and build your way up. If you can just do 1 pull-up for now, then stick to 1 pull-up for a few sessions, and over time, try to aim for 2, then 3, then 4, and so on. Build your way up slowly, trying to do a bit more than you did last time. You can also increase the intensity, the reps, the tempo, do slower reps, explosive reps, just trying to do a little bit more than you did last time. Don't ever stay in your comfort zone. Make sure you're pushing and challenging your body every single week. That is what leads to actual growth. This is exactly what I did. When I first started, I could barely do push-ups or pull-ups without falling flat on the ground. I was incredibly weak in relative strength to my body weight. I wasn't thinking about programming or reps and schemes. I just tried to do a little bit more than I did the last time, and without even meaning to, accidentally implemented progressive overload, which built me the physique I have today. So another method I would sometimes use when I was first starting out was a circuit. So I would do 5 push-ups, 5 pull-ups, or I'd swap it up sometimes, but it was generally I'd do so many push-ups, so many pull-ups, straight from one into the other. That would then be 1 round, and I'd just repeat it for as many times as I could. And over time, I would work this up, so it would be 6 pull-ups, 10 push-ups, and so on and so on. It wasn't about trying to find a shortcut to the physique I wanted. It was about building up over time and becoming the person I wanted to be. And to be honest, I enjoyed the journey. Calisthenics was so enjoyable. This method of slowly progressing and getting stronger and stronger and more in control of your body was so enjoyable at the time and still is today. If you actually want results, you need to push through those days where motivation is fading. You can try some other things to keep it more interesting, so you can do ladder workouts. So if you can do 10 pull-ups, you would work up 1 by 1 up to 10, so you do 1 pull-ups, 2 pull-up, 3, 4, 5, all the way up to 10, and then you come all the way back down. You can do EMOM training, which is something that I often used without, again, even knowing it. So this is every minute on the minute. So what you do is pick a time length, let's say 10 minutes. You're going to do 5 push-ups every minute on that minute for 10 minutes. So when the first minute starts, you bang out 5 push-ups. However long you have left before 2 minutes, that is your rest time. As soon as 2 minutes hits, you bang out another 5. Again, whatever's left is your rest time into 3 minutes, and so forth and so forth. This is how you build superhuman strength and endurance. You stick to these simple movements, you progress over time, and you make them brutally effective. If you stick to this, work on your nutrition, progressive overload, staying consistent, without a doubt, in 6 to 12 months' time, you will have built a physique and strength that you would never have thought possible with such simple methods. So as I said, nowadays my training has evolved slightly. I focus a bit more on skill work, so things like handstands and muscle ups. But push-ups and pull-ups will always be the foundation of my training, and I still do them to this day. These movements are just so foundational that if you stick with them and implement progressive overload, you will see results for years to come. And the bonus is they are very easily accessible. Push-ups can be done literally anywhere, and pull-ups, as long as you have a bar, swing, stair railing, whatever it may be, you can find a place to do them. There is a reason that people like top athletes, fighters, and calisthenics athletes still use push-ups and pull-ups to this day. It works. It builds endurance, it builds an immense amount of power, and it's just enjoyable. If you master these two movements, you will build real mastery over your body. So what are you waiting for? Stop searching for shortcuts. Stop wasting time. You now know everything you need to know to build the physique that you want. Right? If you are looking for help along your journey or want to get into calisthenics and start working towards the skills, I have built a calisthenics beginner blueprint. Top link in the description. Grab the program, walks you through everything you need step by step to build that superhuman physique and strength while working towards those skills. With all that being said, I'll see you in the next one. Stay consistent. Peace.